This time on Captain Cancel's Laboratory, we're going to be working on the Department 56 Wilkinson and Kidd Saddlery. It's a 12-volt AC piece. Here's the power cord. It's already plugged in. So anyhow, this horse right here doesn't spin. To prep it in advance, I already started to take it apart just to make the video slightly shorter. But on the bottom, this is glued in. I heated it up with a heat gun and then pried it off. And this is screwed in. Here's the screw. It's right in the center under this column. So I had to pull the bottom out, kind of cock it at an angle. Now the screw is painted to match this brown, so you might have to chip some of the paint away. But as you can maybe see, it says 12 volts AC right there. So the light works, but what's happening is when I plug it in, the motor is humming, but this belt's not turning. There's a belt right here. You can kind of see it in the light. So most likely this motor is bad. I'm pretty sure it is. So we're gonna check the motor by itself. It's held in with a couple of screws. One. And two. So, got a little aluminum pulley, and just so we can all see, I'm gonna put a little line on it. You can see the line. Alright, now she's spinning. We'll put a load on it and see if it stops. Yeah, see how I can stop it? Yeah, I don't know if you can hear it. So the motor is failing. It's not completely out yet. And this belt feels good. And the pulley that's attached to spins. Sometimes when you unplug them and plug them back in, they stop working. I'm going to put it back under a load from the unit. I'm going to try and hold it in place where she's supposed to be, because this belt's got a lot of tension on it, believe it or not. And now it's turning the whole thing. Well, it's not supposed to sound like that, and if with my finger on it, I can feel it clicking. So, this motor is dying. It's not dead yet, but what happening is every once in a while the horse would spin and then stop, or it wouldn't turn. So, this thing is going. Like I said, right now it doesn't want to stop, but it stopped a minute ago. Of course. Let me see if I have this motor. So this is a counterclockwise 5.6 RPM 2.5 watt 12 volt AC motor. It does have to be a counterclockwise, or else your horse will be moonwalking into the saddle, or it's a pen, and it would look funny. That's way too big. It's also a CW, so it's the wrong direction. Alright, that was the right size. It is 12 volts. Unfortunately, it doesn't say whether it's CCW or CW. Not that I can see. So, of course, you can tell the shaft is a little tall. My other motors are the same. So I might have to order this motor. Sometimes you can swap shafts, but on this one you won't be able to because they're mirrored. And when I say mirrored, you can see the 4 pins and the 4 pins, they're off from each other, they're mirrored. Also, the probabilities of it working is about 33%. That's about the success rate for swapping the output shafts from one to the other. This motor, in case you're wondering why the shaft is so long, was originally intended for pinwheels. So if you watch the fiber optic scenery change where the motor got replaced, this is why it's so tall. It's to hold a pinwheel disc above the light for the fiber optics. But I got my shipment of these in. But what these are is this is a TYC40, the motor. That's the new, yep, TYC40 synchronous motor. That is the technical part number, because the other number that's on here, which is 202310, normally doesn't bring up anything. I think that's just an internal part number for the manufacturer. But these are TYC40s, and once you do that, you just have to find the correct shaft. This one is made by Yi. It's an AM3. They really don't have them anymore. I usually end up replacing the AM3s with the TYC40s. This will spin faster if I can get the right size shaft, I believe, because this is a 5.6. Yeah, okay, they're the same. Never mind. A lot of times these Yis were slower. There were like 3.4s or 4.5s, and these are 5.6. So it means it spins approximately 5 to 6 revolutions per minute, depending on the load placed on the end of it. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and go through more of my motors and see if I can find one. And if not, I'll order one and we'll be back to finish it up. All right, we're back. It's been a minute, but I was able to dig through some stuff and get a motor and put it back together real quick just to make sure it worked in alignment. You saw how to take it apart. It's just reverse to the 2 screws on and stick the belt back on the pulley. You do need to get a threaded shaft motor. I'll try and find a link to some. I just had one in one of my other motor containers. I have a couple of drawers with random motors. I just luckily had one. That's amazing. Anyhow, so you just put the 2, get the pulley on, screw it down, make sure that the threads, you thread the pulley in. If you're concerned about it backing off, put a little bit of clear nail polish on the threads of the screw that goes into the pulley, and then put the 2 screws in the plastic. Do not over torque the screws and break the plastic. That would be bad. So, getting this back in, kind of a pain in the butt. This disc doesn't fit through the bottom because I don't know if you can see. Let's change the light here. It's a lot of shadow. It's not going to help any. You can kind of see down in there, see how it's brown? There's actually a porcelain lip, because this is a porcelain house. I should have mentioned that earlier. It's porcelain. So you do have to unscrew it. So how I did it was, I put the motor in, started at an angle with the motor plate. Use this to screw it in. Any screwdriver will be fine. And then once it was up, then I just spun the horse until it tightened, which sounds stupid, but the motor spins in the same direction as the thread. So if you stop this horse, it's going to unscrew the plate. Normally it's they use what they call left-handed threads when they do stuff like that. For instance, the Fezziwigs dance hall, or whatever they called it, I forgot now. But the Fezziwigs comes with left-handed threads and right-handed threads. And depending on which model you got, it's so it wouldn't unscrew itself when it spun. They should have done that with this. They should have had the horse, well, they should have put left-handed threads in, so that way the horse's motion will keep it tight, or put right-handed threads in and have the horse going the other way, so it's spinning this way. Just something, sorry for the car, go by. Just something so that if you stop the horse, you'll unscrew the plate. If you need to tighten the plate without tearing the bottom off, because I got to glue it on still, that's why the hot glue gun's here heating up, unplug it and then turn the plate. And if your screw is snug, it'll tighten the screw only to the tension of the belt. So the belt, it starts to slip the belt. So she's pretty tight. Yeah, she's just turning the pulley. Now, same thing. If you're concerned about it backing off, a dab of clear nail polish on the threads. Because this, you have to be able to unscrew it to take it apart. You don't want anything permanent that's going to cause issues. As far as the screw goes, I'll tip it up. That's why it doesn't fall out, is because of that plate. But you can see the screw, see the shiny right in there. Once it's in all the way, see the gap is so small, I'm not too worried about trying to repaint the screw. This will set on its back too. It rests on this lip and the chimney and this beam. It does not hit the pulley, so you can rest it on a solid surface and you're good to go. So it's a pretty easy one to work on. I'll see if I can find a link below to a couple of places that might have the motor. I don't know where I got the motor. I buy random motors just to have, and sometimes they fit in certain projects, hence the random part of the name of the channel. Because you never know when you're going to need it. But it's a 12-volt synchronous motor. If you use a non-synchronous motor that you can fabric cobble into place, it technically would work. It would just spin the horse really fast because there's no gear reduction. It's a 1-to-1 pulley. That's why the synchronous motors are used, because the inside that casing is gear reduction. It changes the horsepower to torque. So just got to pop this thing out a little bit to get the glue under it. Since it's hot, finally. I remember when I first got this thing, it got hot real fast, and now it's getting older, it's getting slower. So, might be time to invest in a new glue gun. Rotate. Get this side. And if you have this piece, I'd really like to know. Comment below. Did your piece come with this? Oh, that's hot. With this white, that's the name, right? With this white feltish papery stuff on the bottom. I've never seen any Department 56 use this before, so I am absolutely curious if this was factory or if somebody added this after the fact. I didn't ask the owner. I might ask him when I return it. If you're not sure what I'm referring to, I'll tip it up in a second once we get a little bit cure time on this glue. There we go. So this stuff right here is adhesive on one side, and it's kind of that felt paper on the other. So I'm curious if that's factory, because I have never seen a Department 56 piece with it, and it's cut out perfectly to the bottom. So I'm really curious if it's factory or not. Turn that off. Make sure she's still tight. She feels good. The screw. Yeah, we're good. And there we go. Alright, let's kill some of these lights so you can see what it looks like in low light. It's not something I collect, but I do like how some of them look in the dark or low light. Sorry about the car again. We don't get a lot of days in Arizona where we can keep our windows open and get fresh air and not have to use an air conditioner. So, when it's possible, I'm going to do so. Alright. So, camera picks it up more than your eye. You can see the glow through, but this is not near as bright as the camera showing it. I mean, you can see it. You can also see through the roof, but it's not. The camera's amplifying the light. Yeah, those windows aren't as bright. Yeah, that's one thing I don't like about cameras. They overemphasize the light. And it's also white. Kind of has that reddish pink color. It's not. It's actually pure white. So it actually looks pretty good. It's a nice little piece. So there you go. The Wilkinson and Kidd Saddlery since 1756. I have no idea what age it is. There's no stamp on the bottom and there's nothing on the box. Based on the material, the size, and the motor, I'm saying this thing's probably pushing 20 years old. So, very short video in comparison to most of them. Very fast. Just heat up the bottom, pop it off. If the belt breaks, I'd recommend getting the belt kit from Skull Crane because they do have that large belt in that nice rubbery style material, which has got good longevity. You can tell with this piece, it's never been opened before. And because the people that got it new. She said probably close to 20 years ago. And it just started to have a little issue. But those belts last forever. They're great belts. They're really stretchy and they're really strong. But I'll link the belt stuff from Skull Crane below. I'll see if I can find some motors, give you some options of where to get them. Other than that, 12 volt light bulb, 12 volt power supply. The light bulb goes out. You get the 12 volt bulbs from the Department of Physics directly. Amazon, Mr. Christmas. Happy Holiday Parts on Mr. Christmas. And 12 volt power supplies. You can get generic ones all over the place. So, yeah, she's a pretty easy one to fix. Not too hard. Doesn't require any more tools than something to heat the bottom up with and something to pry it open with, probably two. I used a screwdriver and a spudger. 2 small screwdrivers would be fine. Depending on how it's stored, it might just pop right off with no heat. This one is always stored inside, so I had to heat it up to get the resin off. A lot of time the resin bakes from being stored in outside storage where it's exposed to extreme temperatures, both hot and cold, and the glue cracks, comes right off. But not this one. This one, because it's stored inside, the glue was still really strong. So nonetheless, it's good to go. I'll put it back in its packaging, get it back to its owner, and till the next one, thanks for watching.